I learned how to trade off of TikTok because I've tailored my algorithm. When I'm doom scrolling, when I'm being a zombie on TikTok, what am I consuming? I'm consuming trading related content. That stuff, piece by piece, I managed to create into my own strategy, and that's how I created
That is mad.
my strategy that has gotten me 400k in funding, 500k in funding, got me my payouts. Makes sense. The reason I trade 1 minute is because I'll have 30 minutes of stress, but then after that I'm done. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're trading 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you might be in there for a couple hours.
But that disciplined approach will literally show on the chart.
And I started over risking on challenges. Makes sense. And what ended up happening was like I would pass these challenges 100% and it would work great. But what ended up happening was the habits I built within the challenges, they come back to follow you in your lives.
Hey guys, and welcome back. We are still here with our guest Zaki, and we are going to jump straight back into it.
So I want to ask you a question when it comes to psychology. How did your psychology get affected, or how did it perform transitioning from being a business owner into trading? And did that benefit you to be a business owner? Like how did your psychology transition into trading? Did you work on your psychology with trading, or was it just I run a business, this is going to be easy, let's just go?
It was more like I run a business. This could potentially make me more money than my business makes me already, because I was seeing people do stupid payouts. Yeah, let me give it a shot. Then I realized that, okay, it's not as easy as I thought it'd be. I'm not gonna hit these massive payouts. And then eventually I settled on being more consistent rather than trying to make more money through trading than my business. Let my business handle all my bills. Let my business handle my family. Let my business handle everything else. And then let trading just add to that. Makes sense. So that's what it was for me. But at the same time, it was one of those ones where I had another point I was going to make, but I forgot. What trading, at the same time, what trading did do was it made me 100% more disciplined person. So when I was running my business, I didn't really have structure in my life. Okay, it's like, cool, I know what I need to do. I've got tasks I need to do, get them out of the way, and do what I have to do. With trading, it's like, cool. Now, literally, if you go on my calendar, everything is time-stamped. This time I'm waking up. This time I'm going to gym. This time I'm getting ready for the charts. This time I'm doing business work. It's given me structure in my life. It's created discipline in my life. And that in itself has improved the business aspect of my life. It makes sense. So I got into trading. So I started off a business, got into trading, but I feel like the discipline that I've gained from trading has given me more in business as well. So it's like a circle.
It's the routine.
Yeah, it's the routine.
What you do outside of trading will actually benefit you into trading. It's the importance of having a daily routine. So, you know, that disciplined approach will literally show on the chart.
And I didn't understand, like, I didn't see profitability until I started doing that discipline stuff. Until I started exerting myself physically at the gym. Until I started time-stamping things in my calendar, going to bed at certain times. Like right now, it's like, cool, I won't go to bed every single night at a certain time. But according to the season, like for right now, my bedtime is 3 a.m. in the morning because I pray Fajr. I pray Fajr, and then I go sleep, because if I don't pray Fajr, if I go sleep before that, I won't wake up. So for me, it's better to prioritize God, prioritize my prayers, and then do what I gotta do. So between the hours of Isha and Fajr, what am I doing? All I'm doing is working on business. That's what I've delegated my time to. So it's not every single day, every single month is the same. But I try to surround my day around the 5 prayers as it is. So based on that, it's like, cool, what can I change? But at the same time, I'm making sure I'm keeping it set and making sure I'm following my plan every single day.
What's your stance on the things that you do outside of trading to improve your trading? Because the other day I saw on Twitter, someone said something about basically like cold showers aren't going to make you profitable and things like that. And I'm like, you're correct, they're not. But for me, the cold showers, the meditating, the journaling, the reading, the affirmations, they're the things that we do outside of trading that build the mindset to be able to be a good trader.
Exactly.
What's your stance on things like that? Like, obviously it's not a direct correlation to trading, but in my opinion, they are somewhat needed to be a great trader, unless you have like that bulletproof mindset.
Let me ask you a question, How many fat traders do you know? There you go, there's your answer.
That is a very good point.
How many fat profitable traders do you know?
None.
There you go.
That is a great, you know what? I've never even thought about that.
Yeah.
That is a great point.
I hope this is politically correct.
Well,
so-
good thing I am.
I mean, there's been people online that have called me fat, but
Oh, come
I'm
on,
clearly
Mads.
not. No, seriously, someone went on like a whole Twitter campaign calling me fat. I swear.
Ah.
We know who he is, you know who he is. Isn't
What?
Wait, do I
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah.
Really? No way.
And
You watch this before it gets posted, innit?
no. But yeah, so like, yeah, what like
It's like there's always going to be some form of discipline, some form of what's the word? What's another word for discipline? I forgot the word. There's always going to be consistency within
Yeah,
a person's
yeah.
life in order for them to become profitable. Makes sense. The consistency you have outside of the outside of the charts gets reflected in your charts. I always say that. But like I said, I've not seen one fat profitable trader. Makes sense.
You know, the consistency, when you talk about like these things that you do outside of trading, so for example, the cold showers, the sauna, steam, gym, eating healthy, if you can do that consistently for a long period of time, you will literally see change in your approach to the charts.
100%.
But then if you're eating junk food every day and you're sleeping in late and you're messing about with the gym, your gym timings are not consistent, literally your trading will get affected. I have seen this happening with me personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Where, when I'm always like, everything is timed, as you said, calendar, I wake up at this time, I do my prayers at this time. I try my best to do my prayers on time. I do my prayers on time, and you're always there eating healthy food, making sure that you're eating healthy food. Because, at the end of the day, things are accessible, everything is easy now. So sometimes you choose the easy route. Oh, let me just order. Yeah, and then you fall into like ordering food every day, and then instead of you getting up, actually cutting like clean food, washing it yourself, cooking something for yourself, that in itself is discipline. And you know what you're feeding your body, so your mind is what you feed it. And at the end of the day, when you're going to the gym every day and you're doing these cold showers, consistency over time will lead into consistency with your charts.
Yeah, and that's something I want to mention, touch on it as well. So, January, has been the only month where I haven't had a payout this year, okay? So before that, since August, I've been getting paid out every 2 weeks, from other prop firms, every 2 weeks.
that's sick,
Yeah.
I feel like big up yourself on that, because not a lot of people can be that consistent.
Yeah, so, no, but January, I didn't get a single payout. I was in drawdown the whole month. And then when I saw that I'm not making money, it's a shock to you because you're getting paid out every 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden there's no money coming to your account. You're not profitable that month. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, what's going on here? So at first I just blamed on the market. I'm like, you know what? It's one of them ones. Beginning of the year,
I was gonna say market cycles. January's
market
dead
cycle.
anyway. Yeah.
January's dead, whatever it might be. But then I thought to myself, December was a very good month for me. December I had my biggest payout. Makes sense. And December isn't usually one of those months. Makes sense.
No.
So it doesn't make sense.
It's
so
like
why
when
is
liquidity
January
is drained out from the
Yeah,
market.
but I made money in December. So
Good.
why is it in December I made money, but January, there wasn't much difference in terms of the market. But I was in drawdown the whole month, and then I basically started like looking deeper and obviously observing myself, and I realized that look, during these months where I was getting paid out consistently every 2 weeks, I was consistent with the gym. Makes sense. Like I had on my phone, I had the My Fitness Pal app. I was recording what I was doing, how much weight I was doing, how many reps I was doing, and then I was trying to improve every single week. Makes sense. But then in January, I stopped doing that. I started slacking. Makes sense. And that's when I saw a direct correlation between that and my performance in January. And then I just blamed on the charts. I blamed on market cycles, whatever it might be. But then it's like, am I trying to divert the blame from myself onto the markets, or is it something that I need to take a deeper look into? Makes sense. And from there, it's like, cool. I understand. That's when it really hits. Like, cool. I need to be more consistent. Now I don't go gym. I don't go gym to become massive. I don't go gym to thingy to. I don't have a certain.
Just to stay healthy.
Yeah, I stay healthy 100%. I don't have a certain agenda for going to gym. I go to the gym because I work as hard as I can. Yeah, I try and get that natural dopamine, and then physically exert myself as much as I can. Yeah, and the effects of that afterwards, if they come, they come. If not, I've done what I need to do. Makes sense. Yeah. I've done something I don't want to do in the morning. I wake up in the morning, I don't want to go gym. I've done that. I've done things I don't want to do, and I've hit that natural dopamine, and that will have an immediate impact on my trading, 100%. Yeah. That's my goal when I go gym. Does it make sense?
This is literally what I call in psychology mindfulness in trading. because mindfulness in trading, splits into many different things. So you've got like things that you can do in your life that provides you positive dopamine, and things that also you can do that also releases that dopamine hormone where you feel happy, but it's negative dopamine.
Okay.
So things like eating junk food, you feel happy at the time when you're eating it, but then you feel horrible
Yeah,
afterwards.
you feel slumped out afterwards.
Exactly. People who basically drink alcohol all the time, alcoholic every single week, every single day, I have to drink alcohol. People who do drugs, people who basically, watch pornography. This can affect you over the long term, right? But then when you go and step back and say, what are things that I can do that are gonna give me positive dopamine? So spending time with family and friends, doing your prayers, meditation, eating healthy, going to the gym, all these sort of things that you feel happy, you feel good about afterwards, and then you keep doing them consistently, is literally mindfulness in trading.
100%. The point about the dopamine thing as well, I'll give you a good example, yeah. So recently I went Umrah, yeah. After I got my last payout with Equity Edge, I literally spent that on my Umrah trip with me and the guys. So you know where the mountain of Mount Jabal is, Jabal Nur is? Yes, Bukhari Hira. So we climbed that mountain, yeah, and it was a 2-hour climb, yeah. And we were all in like long clothing. We weren't wearing
traditional Islamic.
Yeah, Islamic clothing, but it's not clothing that you'd wear when you're climbing a mountain. Makes sense. So we're doing all this, yeah. It's not the safest route either, but it's 2 hours, and throughout the whole 2 hours, all of us are complaining that it's hard, it's hot, it's dark as well. Yeah, we're thirsty. But once you get to the top, none of that matters. None of that matters. We completely forget about how hard the climb was. We completely forget about how thirsty it was. Once we reach the top, we forgot about all the struggles and we just enjoyed the moment at the top. Makes sense?
Yes.
So that's, again, come back down to natural dopamine. The good dopamine you felt once we achieved our goal after going through all that stress and all that tension is what will help you become a profitable trader. That's what you need to chase, that good dopamine, 100%.
100%. Yes.
That's such a great analogy for trading as well.
Yeah.
Like you go through all these struggles and drawdown and the emotions, then you become successful and you're like...
And you forget all of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maintaining a positive mindset, because you will never be tested with something that you cannot burden.
100%.
And at the end of the day, when you go through drawdowns, when you breach a challenge, when you face some failures, the best thing you can do is just to keep pushing harder and search that positive dopamine that you're talking about in order to get back stronger and have a better mindset.
100%.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask, what sort of strategy do you apply at the moment? Is it what that guy taught you back then?
No.
And then you've built your own system with it?
So obviously what he was teaching was order blocks, imbalances. He wasn't teaching me much about time.
So ICT, SMC stuff?
No, it's just SMC.
SMC
but there wasn't, it was literally not, there was no focus on psychology, no focus on time. There's a lot of things he wasn't focusing on. He just taught me certain patterns, makes sense. Then afterwards, now people ask me, so how did you learn how to trade after that? And I literally say, I learned how to trade off of TikTok, okay? And
really?
I didn't go on YouTube, I didn't watch no ICT videos or what it was. The way I trade, you might call it ICT, whatever you want to call it, But the way I trade, I literally learned it off TikTok. There's things I picked up on TikTok, because what you gotta understand is when you're on that journey, for me, my For You page is literally trading related stuff, value content, makes sense? So literally when I'm scrolling, when I'm doom scrolling, when I'm being a zombie on TikTok, what am I consuming? I'm consuming trading related content. That stuff, piece by piece, I managed to create into my own strategy. And that's how I created
That is mad.
my strategy that has gotten me 400k in funding, 500k in funding, got me my payouts, makes sense? People would be like, I used to be shy to tell people that, I didn't actually learn any ICT. I haven't watched a single ICT video. I haven't watched any of his videos, I've learned it off of TikTok. But now that I've come up with the receipts, I've got proof that it does work. I literally, if your For You page is literally half naked girls, shaking bomb, doing degeneracy and entertainment, then you can't expect to gain much from it. Doesn't make sense. But because I've tailored my algorithm, I've showed TikTok and Instagram what I'm interested in. They've gone ahead and given me what I needed in order to become a profitable trader. So there's different TikTokers and different gurus, whatever you might want to call it. Yeah, one guru's taught me about time, the importance of time. One guru's taught me this concept. Another guru's taught me that concept. And I've
consumed
and
everything.
I've consumed everything, and I've put it together. Literally, I've not watched a single ICT video, and apparently my strategy is ICT. Does that make sense? It's literally consuming of TikTok, seeing the value content that people provide on TikTok and Instagram as well, and then creating my own twist on it. Makes
Do you
sense?
believe that sometimes you might be applying your strategy in your own way, and then if you teach that strategy to someone else, they might not be profitable with it?
I do agree with that, because I'll tell you
Yeah.
why. So I do have a Discord community, and the trades I take personally, yeah, I post them before I take them. Majority of them, I trade on the 1 minute time frame, so sometimes I might not be able to send it straight away.
Quick.
Yeah, it might not be as quick. But the thing is, there'll be some people, yeah, who will take the same trade as me. I'll have closed, yeah, but they'll still be in the trade. It's gonna head and hit the SL. Makes sense? So stuff like that, it's like, cool. The strategy works, but there's certain variables that you control, yeah, and based on that, you will be profitable or not. Makes sense? Like my strategy is strictly risk 1 to 2 RR. Makes sense? I'm always at 1 to 2 risk RR. But there'll always be that person that's greedy. There's always be that person that wants more. They'll try to aim for a 1 to 3, 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
That in that scenario, the strategy won't work, because
You know what your strategy gives, and
I know what my strategy gives me, and I won't take more than it can give me.
Yeah.
Makes sense? And if it can give it to me consistently, why would I look for more? Makes sense? There's always more opportunities. So like if people do copy the same strategy, it's like, cool, they can copy the strategy, they can copy the reason why they enter a trade, they can copy the reason why the markup per se, but their take profit levels, what they do while they're in the trade, that's all up to them. Makes sense? Like I've got a checklist, 100%. I see X, Y, and Z, yeah, I enter. Makes sense? If I don't see X, Y, Z, I don't enter. Makes sense? But what do I do after I enter? That's all that matters. And that's where most people who use my strategy, yeah, go wrong. It's like, what do you do once you're in the trade? Do you see, I wanted to hit 4K profit on a 200K account, but you know what, you're thinking, you know what, I'm in drawdown right now. If I just go for another 1%, I'll hit the break-even mark, yeah? And then because of that, you've gone ahead and now you've gone back to break-even. But then on the trade, you've gone back to break-even on the trade, and now you're thinking, you know what, it's going to go back up, but then it ends up being your SL. Makes sense? That happens a lot. Makes sense?
Yes.
Understand, like every week, this is what I do. Every week, yeah, at the end of the week, I will go ahead and replay price from Monday to Friday and back test my strategy for the week. What could my strategy have given me for the week? Okay, realistically, yeah, on a week-to-week basis, if I'm following my strategy mechanically, yeah, I'll make between 10 to 15% on my strategy. Makes sense? I don't make 10 to 15% a month. A week on my strategy, because once I hit a TP in the AM session, yeah, I won't trade the PM session. There'll be times just like, once I've made money for the day, there's no reason
done.
for me to trade again.
Yep.
So I'm done. But if I was to carry on trading and taking these other opportunities, 100%, I could have made 10%, 15%. That in itself gives me confidence in my strategy, gives me confidence in my risk reward as well. It's like, cool. This is the potential that my strategy has, 10 to 15% a week. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't need to aim for 10 to 15. I just need that 2% for 2 weeks. Of course. Makes sense. Yeah. Get that payout. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Does it make sense?
Selective. You're selective.
Yeah, selective. That's what it is. 100%.
Yeah. How many trades do you take like per week?
It completely varies. I'll be so real. So it depends. If I've hit my target for the week, then I'll try not to take the trade on the live accounts. But while I'm doing evaluations, it's as many trades as I need. Does it make sense? As many trades as the market gives me. But I'll never trade on the same day after I hit a TP. So if I'm trading the AM session of the New York and I hit a TP, I won't be looking at the PM session. Makes sense?
On a challenge or on a funded?
On a challenge. Okay. Makes sense. So the thing is, so I went through this phase where I thought, okay, cool. I want to get funding as fast as I can, yeah, as quickly as possible, yeah. What can I do? So I started over-risking on challenges. Makes sense? And what ended up happening was like I would pass these challenges 100% and it would work great. But what ended up happening was the habits I built within the challenges, they come back to follow you in your lives. Makes sense?
Yeah.
And that's something I learned the hard way. Makes sense? So now
I feel like we will have to go through
yeah.
that.
So now I treat every challenge account as if I'm trading a live account.
Okay.
Makes sense? It's like, cool. The same thing I would do on a live account, do the same thing on a challenge account. Makes sense? But in terms of how many trades I take per week, it's like, I couldn't tell you, I'll be so real. It's like, it completely varies. It depends on how I feel for the week as well.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for the day, I'll never take more than 2 trades per day. Makes sense?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so not too bad then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you said you trade the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Do you get your entries on the 1 minute, or are you purely trading the 1 minute?
So I'm doing analysis on the 15 minute.
Okay.
I might look at the 1 hour or the 4 hour, but because my strategy is very purely mechanical, I see this, I see this, I see this. I'm not going to worry about the higher time frame bias. I do believe that the market is fractal. What you see on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, will be reflected in the 15 minute, the 5 minute. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about any of that. If I see it play out on the 15, if I see it play out how it's supposed to play out on the 1 minute, I won't bother with the higher time frame narrative, because the way it's supposed to play out on the higher time frame is the same way it should play out on the lower time frames. I do believe the market is algorithmic. Because I trade the 1 minute time frame, I see the algorithm play out. When you see, look, you're smiling at me like as if you guys full of shit, yeah. But when you see the candles print in a certain way every other day, yeah, or every single day, yeah, and you see certain things getting respected on 1 minute time frame in real time. If you're on the 5 minute time frame, yeah, there's a lot of noise. Makes sense. You're not seeing everything play out. You might not be paying attention while you're in the trade. But on the 1 minute time frame, you're glued to that screen. Makes sense. Because I'm trying to be in and out within 30 minutes. Makes sense? So you can literally see the same thing play out every single day. You can see price action. You can see, you understand the algorithm. Makes sense. That's only if you trade the 1 minute. Now, because of that, yeah, I understand the 1 minute. I understand that price is algorithmic. I understand that it's also fractal. So whatever it does on the higher time frames, yeah, it should also do on the 1 minute time frame. Makes sense. So even if the market is bearish for the day and I've gone in for a bullish entry, yeah, on the 1 minute time frame, I should still see the market play out in that certain algorithm before it goes back to take out. So that's me catching the reversal before it carries on the continuation towards the bearish side. Makes sense. Yeah. On the 1 minute time frame, I should see that. Makes sense. And I've seen that play out again and again and again. So I don't care if the market's bullish, it's bearish. If I see my entry, if I see my criteria, I will enter. Makes sense. If you're trading a 5 minute, then it's different. If you're trading 15 minutes, it's different. You have to be with the narrative of the market. You have to be with the bias of the market. Which way is it going to go? But if you're trading in 1 minute, I don't care if it's bullish, bearish, up, down, left, right. I will enter if I see it. If I hit SL, it is what it is. Makes sense.
I hope you know all the gurus on Twitter are going to come for you.
What's the average duration for most of your trades?
Most of my trades, I won't be in a trade longer than 30 minutes. If I'm in there longer than 30 minutes, then it's like cool. I'll start asking myself, should I just close out now and carry on my day? Is it worth the stress? I don't like trading stress. The reason I trade 1 minute is because I'll have 30 minutes of stress, but then after that I'm done. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're trading 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you might be in there for a couple hours. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't like that. 1 minute is for me. I've seen how the 1 minute, I've been rewarded by the 1 minute. I've seen the 1 minute give me my payouts. I've seen it give me my funded accounts. I love the 1 minute. And I'll always trade the 1 minute.
Yeah. You know what? I've switched up, not my strategy, just kind of like how I trade a little bit. So I've now only started trading purely GBP USD, London Open, and just one trade a day. And my stress levels this week are just so low, and it's great.
Good.
Because I have this habit where if I'm in a trade, my phone is open and I'm watching that trade.
Yeah, 100%.
And no matter what time frame I've got this trade on, whether it's a swing trade, just a quick scalp, I am watching the charts. And my phone screen time is shocking, like it's horrible. So now I've had to like really take a step back for the sake of my eyes, I guess, and just focus on that one time zone, one pair, and one trade per day.
Do you put a stop loss?
Sometimes.
That's why you keep looking at it.
Yeah, it is. But the way that I trade, I know like I have specific zones, right? If price comes into that area, then I'm going to look to close.
You need to be watching it.
But I know that price may come up a little bit and then I can get in with a little bit of a less close it out with a bit of a lesser loss.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's my excuse as to why I don't use a stop loss.
Okay.
All the time.
I don't use stop losses either. I literally have it in like it's a mental stop loss in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the price does this, then I'm out.
Yeah, that's like me. That's like me. And I guess because I get my entries on the 1 minute, I know that, okay, right, if price comes back below this, then I'm just going to close out anyway.
Yeah.
But I always have my higher time frame bias. Like my fib is always on like a 4 or 1 hour. But then the 1 minute is where I'm going to get in. And I know that if it comes below this level, if it closes below that 78.6%, I'm out.
Okay, so you base it off Fibonacci?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
The 1 minute time frame is a very like people just think that you can't trade the 1 minute time frame.
People argue that they get wicked out by the 1 minute time frame, but if you're getting wicked out by the 1 minute time frame, my friend, you are simply the liquidity. Makes sense?
Yeah.
The 1 minute time frame will do what it needs to do. If you're getting wicked out, you are simply liquidity. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Simply liquidity.
Just don't use stop loss, then you wouldn't have got taken out, would you?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Do you use stop losses?
Absolutely, 100%. Every trade I use.
We're like, nah, we don't use one.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, I absolutely use one.
Absolutely, 100%. Because for me, especially my entries, yeah, my trade, it's like if it hits stop loss, it's definitely gonna go in the opposite direction and absolutely destroy my account. So I always use stop losses, 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe we
As
should
long
take
as
a
you
lesson.
understand your strategy properly. Yeah. I use stop losses on my personal funds. I don't use stop losses in prop firms.
Fairs.
Yeah.
That makes sense though. We've got to protect that personal capital.
Yeah, exactly.
With our
'Cause
life.
you're not gonna let it run, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Just let it rip.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
the thing with prop trading, isn't it? Like, if you do f- it up, then
Your
go again.
exposure,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Your exposure is very little.
exactly. But I think it does come to a point where you lose. I don't know. Let's say, for example, you're on your 10th account. It gets to a point where you've just got to start being a bit more sensible with it, I think.
Thing is, if you have the money
On your 10th account.
yeah, like
Yeah, okay,
some
maybe
people,
not-
some
maybe
people
not that
fail 30
extreme.
challenges and then they make one big payout and they're back on break even, and then that gives them the momentum
Yeah, you
to
can't
actually
trade.
smash
You're
through it.
gambling.
it is 100% fully gambling because at the end of the day, yeah, obviously if you're trading, yeah, to obviously make money, yeah, prop firm trading is the way to go. If you're trading to obviously make a name for yourself to get onto private
Yeah, of
investments,
course.
private funds, yeah, prop firm trading is not the way to
No.
go. You need to build that track record. You need
True.
to have that personal, whatever it might be.
Absolutely.
I would even argue if you've had a prop firm account for a long period of time and you haven't blown it, yeah, you could potentially use that. But I haven't heard of a single person who's doing private capital that's
No.
used a prop firm account as their track record. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah. No.
Like-
I think when it comes to trading, your track record needs to be verified,
Mm-hmm.
like third party verified, audited, gone through rigorous testing
Exactly.
before you can even call it a track record.
Mm.
If you're using a prop record as a track record,
I don't think that works.
no.
I mean, I know someone who's been trading 580 days on a phase 1 challenge 100k account. 580 days. And he's always sending me updates on his progress. He's like, Mo, I've done this now, I'm up 3%. He actually went down 9% at some point, and he brought the account back to like 2% in
I rate
profit.
You know what?
Yeah,
I rate it.
I rate it.
Yeah.
To listen, if that was nah, I would have just been like full pot this bitch.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out. Like, let me go again.
100%.
Oh my God.
580 days, same account. He did not spend any more money on it. Just still trading that same account. Didn't really pass phase 1 yet, but he's going. And I'm honestly very proud of him because
Is he new to trading? Like,
he's been doing this for like a couple of years.
okay, so new, yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. 580 days.
But that level of patience.
Yes. For me, like,
Wow.
That's crazy.
yeah, I would have not, like, that's a track record, honestly.
No, for real, because I feel like when it gets to that point of accounts, I don't know, like I have this like psychological hold onto that account. Like I feel like sometimes I have to just blow it just to get it out the way and go
Get out of
again
the
with
system.
like a whole new mindset. I don't know what it is, like I attach my mindset to that particular account. Like if I start a new account, I'm in a whole different state of mind. It's
Yeah.
so strange. But to keep that for 580 days,
Yeah, 580 days, unbelievable.
ratings, like that is big.
We've got a potential US30 sell coming up right now. Potentially enter it during the.
Oh,
the
look at
mindset live
that.
trade.
Love that.
Great.
Love that.
You've got to see the sweat come.
Just keep looking.
Dripping.
You guys, I want to go to the bathroom, maybe. Go sit.
Oh my god, are we doing that?
I'm on another 200k phase 2 just
Okay.
I pass right now, so I'm trying to add that into my portfolio as well. So
Okay, I see.
That's what it is.
Congratulations. I hope you get it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Love that. Right, coming to the end and just wrapping this up, what would be your biggest advice to someone who is trying to get funded right now?
Someone is trying to get funded.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, cool.
They know how to trade, they've got a strategy, and now they're at the point where, right, okay, I want to get funded and start making money from this.
I think most important thing would be to collect data. Makes sense. Collect data on what is obviously what you're doing, you collect data on your strategy, and then build confidence in your strategy as well. 'Cause once you have the confidence, once you know that your strategy works and you can see it play out, back testing it, forward testing it, and you know that it's working. Once you take a loss, you'll have the confidence to know that this loss isn't going to be the end of the world for me. It makes sense. My data tells me that I can go ahead and make this back. My strategy can give me this. My strategy averages this much per week. Makes sense. So if I know that that's what my strategy can give me, I simply have to wait for the next opportunity. So collecting data and then adapting to that data continuously as well. It's like, cool. Me personally, yeah, there was a period where I stopped trading on Wednesdays. Makes sense, because from my data, from what I could see on my journal, Wednesday was always a losing day for me. Makes sense.
It's a losing day for me as well.
Yeah, but recently, when I do the backtesting every single week, yeah, because I do a backtesting session of the whole week's price action every single week.
Love that.
At the end, just to see what my strategy could have given me in the week. It's not something that I would have caught. And I can see that Wednesdays are starting to become more profitable.
Okay.
Makes sense. So now I'm thinking about implementing Wednesdays again. Makes sense. So be able to build confidence in your strategy, but then don't be rigid in your strategy. Flow with it. Makes sense. Flow with the time. Flow with what the market is doing, and then you don't make changes to your strategy, but you adapt it to what the market's giving you. Makes sense. So I think collecting data would be the most important thing.
Okay.
100%.
What would you say for someone who is constantly failing challenges? What would your advice be to?
Go back to the drawing board.
You're rubbish. Get over it.
Ideally, you got
Someone who fails challenges all the time and blames everyone else but himself. What would your
You've got to
advice?
take accountability first and foremost. That's what it is. Are you doing what needs to be done in order to become a profitable trader? Are you doing what needs to be done in order to get to that payout? If you're not, then you need to start implementing that. To get shit you never had, you got to do shit that you never done. That's what it is.
Facts.
So
Are you taking a cold shower?
that's what it is. So if you're consistently failing challenges, number one, identify whether or not it's a strategy issue, the concept that you've learned or whatever you've learned. If it works, 100%, that's great. Build confidence in that. If it doesn't work, back test it, stress test it, forward test it, build data on it. If it doesn't work, if it's not giving you the results that you need to pass an evaluation, then 100% think about shifting the strategy. Makes sense. Going to something different. A strategy is based on you as an individual. Makes sense. I mean, a strategy is not based on you as an individual. You have to pick a strategy that suits you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, if I'm living in the UK, makes sense, then which session would be the best for me to trade?
Yeah.
If I'm living in the Maldives, I had one guy message me saying that, I can't trade New York because I'm in the Maldives and New York's open, clashes with Maghrib Salah. Makes sense. So I can't trade it. I'm like, cool, then don't trade New York, trade London. Makes sense.
Exactly.
Pick something that works for you, pick something that meshes with your routine, with your time frame, and then based on that,
100%.
hit the markets.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's a good advice. You guys heard it from the one and only Zaki. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, man.
Yes, thank
It's been fun.
Thank you. And thank you for being Team Mads and helping us lose.
You know, really and truly, we done one exercise that those guys didn't do. So, you know, the clays.
They
Come on, bro.
also
You guys
cheated.
lost. Team
Same
Berkay.
picture.
I was rooting for him.
You know the rolling the rabbits. They did the rabbits.
They didn't do that one.
Exactly. If they did the rabbits, we would have won.
I still got a good score on that one, so I beat you all.
Oh, Zaki, you lost, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is. Might just have to revenge trade that one still.
Well, exactly. Thank you, Zaki, for joining us today for today's Trader Talk. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and make sure you come back next week for another episode of Trader Talk.